that Marco got a ride from the Red Hair Pirates. Um,
Yeah.
I find this to be so fascinating because I assumed Marco could just fly, like
I'm pretty sure he could.
right,
Like,
like he's
I'm pretty sure
literally
he could just,
flying right here, right? But I
yeah.
assumed it was like a excuse me, like seagulls could fly halfway around the world on their own. Like they don't do they hitch rides on ships and airplanes? Like it'll take them a while, but like is Marco
And
just lazy or was he injured? But like he has the phoenix fruit, right? So like how injured does he have to be?
I don't think maybe he just doesn't want to fly. Like, especially, you can be on a boat with your friends, and you
Okay,
could be like,
okay.
even if you could imagine you can't
So here's the
walk
thing,
to a
right?
place, but you can
Because
like take a train with your friends. Which would you do?
okay, so I've you know what, you're right because all of Marco's friends are dead. I forgot that like
Exactly. Most of them are.
yeah.
So yeah.
So I completely forgot that him and Shanks were friends because I was like, oh no, wait, but Shanks isn't dead. How that doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, most of Whitebeard's crew is gone. So
Yeah, Izo just died, so they're kind of they really
damn.
are like
Yeah.
following the example of their captain.
Just passing away.
uh, So I'm really glad we got to see the scene with Yamato because I'll admit, right? I think it was chapter 1057 where the Yamato thing was dropped, and she was like, "Oh, Odin stayed in Wano first, so
Yeah, it
uh,
was a very weak reasoning.
yeah." And now I'm like, "Oh, she did that on purpose. Like it was weak, like in story, like on purpose." So it was nice to see that, like this, especially so soon after that chapter, because I feel like had Oda done this, 5, 10 chapters down the line, it would have been very out of place. And I do think, right, for the future, he's gonna cut back to that 1 week time skip at the between Kaido and Big Mom being defeated and like them waking up and all of this happening. So he's gonna cut back to within that week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we see Zoro visit Ryuma's grave. Things like little things like that, or maybe we get to
Yeah,
see Jinbei's party. That's the big thing I want to see, right? But like I haven't seen yet. Is Jinbei being the celebration for him being in the crew, dude? Like I want to see that so bad.
but do we know that has that like actually happened yet?
Okay, so one of two things, right? Either it happened in that 1 week that Oda skipped over, and he might come back to it later, or what'll end up happening is they'll have it in an upcoming chapter, like while they're at sea. But like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking though.
but like,
It
they
makes
had
more
a
sense to me.
they had a massive like banquet right after Wano ended, so I don't know why they wouldn't just do it like
I would have to go back, but I'm pretty sure like most of the times that scene happens like on the boat,
I mean, and to
so it makes
Justin,
sense.
I'm gonna call you Justin. Okay, so
That's not at all. Oh, Justin.
yeah, so
I thought he was gonna call me Justin.
no,
I was
no,
like,
oh my
what
god,
the
yeah, no,
fuck?
I just named you right now, Crash. Like you've been renamed just, but like he says,
Justin in the chat.
all her development is gonna get off screened. I don't think so because as far as I'm concerned, this is development for Yamato. Like her using the Odin thing as like a dumb excuse is like weirdly, I feel, showing that she's developed a lot
The
since
beginning.
yeah, since the beginning, because it's like she's not pretending to be Odin, like knee jerk reaction. Because I feel like Yamato, when she was first introduced, right, probably would have like had that as a real like as her real excuse. So that's what I'm thinking, and I'm gonna switch up the pronouns for Yamato every now and again, just because I think all of them apply. So
Yeah,
uh,
I
because
would agree.
yeah, so I don't know. Like, this for me is a prime example that Yamato has developed in some way. She's like slowly transitioning out of her Odin phase. I don't think she's quite out the door yet, but she's baby steps. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think she's a little evolving little by little. I We do probably are gonna have some development off screen though, because from here to just be yourself is still gonna take a little while.
True.
She's still very much Odin.
And it's so funny to me that like Yamato is so strong. Like it's weird
Yeah.
because we there's like this discussion about Yamato's strength and how she'd fit into the crew if she actually joined. And one of the things that people pointed out was like, how are you gonna have somebody who also has Conqueror's Haki be on the same crew that just got Jinbei, Zoro and Sanji, and then now Luffy being as strong as he is? So I thought about that, right? And seeing her go up against Green Bull in the way she did, and him not being deterred to the same degree as like Shanks, makes me wonder just how protected is Wano, right? Because she's staying here to help Momonosuke protect Wano from like invaders and essentially, as weird as it sounds, be the new Kaido. So
Yeah.
I'm curious.
She's not on the same level.
Yeah,
But I also don't think we're gonna get another Kaido level threat, at least in Wano. So she's probably fine. That's my opinion.
no, I okay, but no way.
But I do,
No way. Green Bull was a Kaido level threat. He was in like
yeah,
I don't think admirals are as strong as Kaido. I think admirals are about as strong as like excuse me. So I figured it out, right? There's two tiers of warlords, right? There's like the like crocodile being the middle. So there's everybody below crocodile. So Gecko Moria.
I
Maybe,
do think Crocodile's gonna get buffed.
as do I. Like I don't know where you'd put Kuma, because he's a little peculiar with the cyborg and all the other enhancements he's gotten. Um,
Yeah, but he's definitely among the strongest. I feel.
yeah, no. I think. My God, what is going on back there? Sorry, my tablet's going crazy. Um, hey Wombat, what's up? You into One Piece? The One Piece. I just saw that. Oh my God. Okay, so
Mikey.
yeah, so yeah, I don't think like even an admiral level threat is coming back. Like, I think the most Yamato could probably handle is like a vice admiral, right? Because okay,
As long as it's not Garp.
yeah, as long as it's not. Oh my God. So hold on. Let me whip out what's it called, paint for this because it's a visual example, right? So here's like here. I don't want to block your beautiful face, so I'm gonna put it right here. All right. So like here's essentially like a staircase of the power scale in One Piece, right? So you have like Yonko. I don't know why I decided to write it like that, but like here you have Yonko, right? Absolute
It's
strongest
gonna take me a while for me to see, but yeah.
in the verse, and might add another step or two just in case. All right, so here you have Yonko. I think they're the absolute like strongest people in the series, right? Now here
Yeah,
you
like
have
Buggy.
here you have admirals.
This is why I don't like power scaling.
This is a rough like thing just to explain my thought process with like Yamato's
Oh, I
strength.
can see how rough it is.
Yes, okay, you gotta bear with me here. So here you have Yonko, here you have admirals, and then next up you have let's say Yonko commanders,
Okay.
right? And now underneath Yonko commanders you have your average warlords, right? And
Hmm.
and after warlords you have vice admirals, and then you have like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think as far as like each respective warlord goes, this they could end up like Mihawk is probably here. Buggy is probably here. uh,
When you say here, like for people who are watching, they understand it. I don't because I'm watching your screen with a lot of like
Delay.
delay.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, this right here, this bottom tier where where the arrow I just drew is at, is
Mhm.
like everybody else in the world. Like
Yeah.
your I don't know everybody at Brook level or Frankie level, right?
Brook is great.
But basically, if they have under half a billion berry bounty, they're probably here. Now,
Yeah.
as far as I can see, right, the average warlord, if you take all their abilities and average them out, they would probably land here. They're stronger than vice admirals, not quite as strong as admirals or Yonkos or Yonko
Mhm.
commanders, right? But like any one of them is on this scale. Mihawk is right here on like Yonko level, right? But I'd say, what's his name? Doflamingo, being arguably the second strongest warlord, is probably at Yonko commander, right? Right here. So
Yeah.
here, I'll make it pink just so it's easier. That's what this thing is. So I think Doflamingo is probably at Yonko commander level, and then as like the only true warlord level person that I think exists is Boa Hancock. Like I'd put Kuma here too. Um, yeah, I'd put Kuma and Boa Hancock here because they have just the right combination of like hockey, strength, devil fruit abilities, like to put them comfortably here, right? I wouldn't say that
Yeah.
like Boa is particularly as strong as Doflamingo. They both have Conqueror's hockey. They both have pretty broken fruits, but I think the fact that we haven't seen her awakening uh, puts for me Doflamingo at the lead for right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, and just the sheer fact like Doflamingo was able to perform against like full specked out Gear 4 Luffy twice. And like ultimately the only way Gear 4 Luffy won was because Law also scrambled his organs. Like so yeah, I think
That is just like that's kind of like a thing that always happens
yeah. So
in One Piece. Like Luffy always gets a little bit of help.
I know, but like you can make him and Yonko Commander is there's also levels within it. Like Katakuri is not as strong as like Cracker, right? But Luffy still had to initially go Gear 4th on Cracker. And I'd say, bold take here, Cracker was probably as tough, if not slightly, maybe slightly easier than his fight with Doflamingo.
I would
Oh, my
I would have to reread it, but I would say easier.
yeah, my battery is exhausted. So we're gonna do a little creams intermission to change it out. It should take 3 seconds because I have a new one like right here. 1 second. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta
Okay.
keep the crowd warm for me, Crash.
Yeah. So, do you want to see my One Piece cards? I have Chopper. I also have Chopper. I also have Robin. I made a video on these cards and nobody watched it, so I'm using it here. I do like this one. It's Cavendish. Yeah, it looks nice. Oh, Creams is so bad. Let me read chat. Nah, she's above Vice Admirals because most of them are strong. Yeah, we like most of them are not. Oh, I'm looking at my cards. You can see anything.
Okay, we're back.
I'm sorry, you can see anything on the cards. And welcome back.
Thank you. All right, cards better. Creams, what are cards?
I have One Piece cards.
Oh yeah, wow. Is it like a game or just collecting?
Yeah, it is. No, it is a game, but this is like the first deck in English. It's not. The game is not even released yet. It's going to be released in December, I think. But I already got some cards.
How'd you get them so early?
It's demo decks, so they're giving these for free in some stores, like for us to play.
Look at you.
Yeah, I do like this. This is a resource. They're like dons, and some of them are gonna have. I think they're gonna have like specific moments with the dawn. Like the dawn appears in the manga. So the first one is gonna be when the first time Luffy says like I'm gonna be the Pirate King. That's gonna be one of the cards, like a special edition you can get, which is nice.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to this. That's basically my long-winded way of saying, yeah, Boa is comfortably not that strong in the grand scheme of One Piece, right? Especially against Blackbeard and his very hacks abilities. But we'll get to him in a sec. All right. So Boa's
She did manage to get all of his crew though.
She did, but she can't. Actually, it was implied that she could have gotten Blackbeard too, because like, no way Blackbeard could resist Boa Hancock. I mean, just respectfully, Blackbeard is not built like that.
Yeah,
he's built with a lot, but not a guy like Blackbeard.
he's not a Luffy.
Like I feel like you can make a case for him being like, you know what, King of the Pirates. If like Boa Hancock offered to go on a date with him or something, like he might just give it up.
Yeah. But that doesn't remind me. Did she turn what's her name? The Devon. Did she turn Devon on to Stone as well?
Let's see. So here's Blackbeard. Oh shit, that's Vasco's shot. And by the way, yikes, man, this is like true like
Apparently she did.
yeah.
She did.
But this line right here was like very um I've always seen this like statement about Blackbeard and his crew that they're like biblically accurate pirates, you know, like they're
Yeah. I get what you mean.
yeah. And I'll leave it at that, but just I didn't think Oda would be allowed to put this in One Piece. I don't know why, but I always feel like Japan Weekly Shonen Jump is just like the censorship or like the guidelines combo would be a little bit more strict. So how he managed to sneak this in One Piece is nothing short of a miracle. I'm gonna wait for the
Yeah.
officials to come out before
I was
like
gonna say that.
yeah, but like
I also don't know if this is because sometimes it's the translators being a little free with the translation.
yeah. So we gotta see. Um, I thought this guy was a Rouge. Oh God, I missed seeing the Quake fruit. I forgot the name of it in Japanese, but like Whitebeard's fruit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, have you ever watched One Piece manga Crash?
I did. I did because One Piece was the first like anime I watched. But I didn't get too far. I watched till maybe Reverse Mountain,
Hmm.
and then I moved to the manga. The animation was kind of rough back then.
I forget how ancient you are. Are you sure you're not Pluton? Like,
Not that Asian. I've only been reading One Piece since 2008.
I'm gonna let you hang on to that. You know, a little bit of hope and pretend. All right. All right. So let me know if I'm going too fast for you, sir. Um, uh, we get the return. Uh, what?
Go ahead.
That's what I thought you said, Crash. So, we get the return of Koby finally. Hancock, you know, yada yada yada. I can't believe, like, I know rationally they didn't send Koby, right? Like only Koby to get like Boa Hancock, former warlord, right? But it's still very weird to see this guy who's a vice admiral, like be like who's this guy? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude,
So remember like the Kobe from chapter 1.
exactly. Like it
Yeah.
seems to me that climbing the ranks of the Marines are basically so easy until you get to vice admiral, and then it's like there's like 300 vice admirals, and I feel as though it's
Helmetu is a vice admiral as well, right?
Garp. Yeah, he's a vice admiral.
Yeah.
Momonga is a vice admiral. There's like a lot of, and then they have like a giant faction of the vice admirals for some
Mm-hmm.
inexplicable reason, and it's just like,
It's giants.
you know, and it's kind of annoying because like I wonder what the criteria is for becoming a new admiral and why there's only why only three are allowed. Because the way I take it, right, the Marines have kind of structured themselves as a pirate crew, uh, in that they have like commanders, but they like it's like a government position, right? But it's like
Yeah.
you can't just make a new admiral. Nothing's stopping them, right? It's with like there's no like commandment saying that there can only be three. It's probably just like a rule of the Marines, but like why? Like if like I'll put it to you this way, right? We know Garp didn't want to be a Marine, didn't want to be an admiral because he didn't want to like serve the Celestial Dragons, right? But like I'm assuming other vice admirals would love to be admirals if given the chance, but it's like, is the criteria so strict that they just can't be on the level of admirals because they're not strong enough? Is it like they don't have good devil fruits? Like what do you think it is, right? Because we've never seen an admiral canonically. We've never seen an admiral canonically have no devil fruit, just hockey, which kind of implies to me that it might be a written or unwritten rule that all admirals have to have not only a devil fruit, a busted devil fruit, and an awakened devil fruit. Because of what Aokiji and Akainu did to Punk Hazard, presumably Kizaru's fruit is also awakened, just because of how well he uses it. And
Yeah.
I okay, with Fujitora it might be a little up in the air. It's like, what does an awakened gravity fruit look like if he's not going to shift the Earth's axis like off its hinges? And then with Rikogyugu, Green Bull, right? He
Yeah.
feels like he has an awakened devil fruit just because the criteria we've seen so far is that it can affect the environment, and his, I don't know if it's like, yeah, it definitely affects the environment. uh he leaves like flowers every time he walks. Like, it definitely feels like when you become an admiral, you need a devil fruit, you need a strong awakened devil fruit, you need to be a hockey master too, and you also for some reason like have to wait for another admiral position to open. Like,
Yeah. That's kind of like the thing. You do. They do seem to always have three, right? Because
yeah. And they have to have three so bad they have to draft new people to fill in those spots, which raises the question, right? Why have a draft if you have so many vice admirals waiting in the wings, right?
I guess they can just put him against Sakazuki and be like, "Can you beat this guy up? No, then fuck you." Like most of vice admirals probably can't go toe to toe with the admirals.
I mean, I would.
With the exception is Garp, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
but that does take about because Garp did not have a devil fruit, as far as I remember.
He didn't have a devil fruit, but he was offered it, right? And
Oh, was he? I don't remember that.
yeah, I forgot where I heard it, but it was like,
There's like there's like this segment of my life because I've reread One Piece all the way till middle of Water 7,
mm-hmm.
but between that and like the post time skip are just material that I haven't read in 15 years. So there's a lot of things I don't remember of like those couple of arcs, especially like the intro of Garp and everything.
I forgot where I heard it. I think it was in, was it the Reverie, like that mini arc? It might have been like people talking about Garp, panel. But yeah, anyway, Garp would have been like the first, right? And I say canon earlier because I know Zephyr or Z or Zed, whatever. He was
Yeah,
an admiral with no devil fruit, but it's like how
not
like
canon.
yeah like how it's a weird, like, it feels in like again like an unspoken maybe rule that hasn't been revealed yet. But yeah, I don't know why I got on this tangent from this fucking guy, but uh yeah. um don't waste your breath, I'll never submit to another's captivity. Great characterization for Boa. um okay, now I want to talk about, so I only found out that this was a clone, like this PX was Mihawk. I didn't know that at
Yeah,
first. Yeah, I thought it was the same. I thought it was just like a singular one, but like I don't know why this didn't like click with me.
yeah. That was the thing. Before we got on stream, I was saying that there was something I wanted to check out. That
Mm,
was the thing because I did hear that there was Mihawk, or Kid Mihawk as one
mm.
of the pacifistas. I
Yeah,
was so confused because I did not get that, but it does make sense because we do get to see later on that the other one is Boa,
yeah.
and this one, now that I look at it, does have Mihawk's sword, kinda, not really, but kinda similar to his sword. It looks like just not as big, I guess.
You know what's weird though? Like they shouldn't have been able to replicate this particular feat. Like Mihawk doesn't have a devil fruit, and it's not like the swordsmanship is genetic, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's a hockey thing and that's a skill thing, more importantly, right? And they don't have the information on like swordsmanship to download. Even if they did, right? You can't replicate Mihawk's abilities because it like you can emulate them, right? They could just give him like enhanced strength, like a lightsaber, and like have the actual clone be super super strong, but they can't like replicate any of the fine tuning that Mihawk is able to do.
But I'm assuming he's not as strong as Mihawk.
I mean, you'd hope so, right?
Yeah.
But dude, also
um,
this is a huge moment. It's revealed Blackbeard can like officially has hockey.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
We
um,
didn't knew that.
cannot believe this pacifista was ultimately the one to make him use it. Um, just
Yeah, it was. You'd expect the bigger moments.
yeah, like I would have used the dark fruit like first thing, right? Just to deal with these guys because if they have any kind of devil fruit powers, just neutralize them right off the rip. And obviously they're part Lunarian from the wings and the fire and everything.
Hmm. Yeah.
Also, just realized this clone Mihawk has a clone Euro. That's hilarious.
The
Uh,
clone what?
the sword, Mihawk's sword. It's in the same like shape.
Oh, that was what I was saying.
Yeah, I didn't clock that. I yeah, this completely went over my head when I first read it. But yeah, I would have used Black Hole right away. And also, yeah, Boa's Devil Fruit is pretty strong. Hold on, I want to see if I could find her knocking out Blackbeard's crew. The
Yeah.
Vice Admiral, love that. I can't believe this is how we're seeing Helmeppo again.
I mean, Sal Maple, you. It's not that important.
I know. Oh, there they are. There they are. Katarina and
Yeah.
Vasco shot. They got petrified. So okay.
She's a lesbian confirmed. Actually, I don't remember if Boa's powers also affected.
I don't know. I think they affect people, right? Like
Yeah.
Boa is a very um no,
Death.
yes they do. Yes they do. Because her entire like her people like worship her. Remember her introduction where she kicked the seal and everything and they were like you'll forgive me because I'm beautiful. So I think yeah, Boa's abilities still work on people. On women.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Let's see. Um
Also, I like this is probably like accidental, but I like the detail that Boa is also Portuguese for hot.
really?
Yeah.
I I always assumed it was just a snake pun
Yeah.
because it's like
When I say hot, I mean like the literal translation is good, but that's the word that we use for the expression that hot,
oh. Huh.
specifically hot. She's hot.
So this is
So
another first of all that's cool, but this is also one of the kind of prime examples of Oda packing a very big like spread with a lot of information that's very subtle. Like this is also the bounty reveal in
yeah,
addition to a great shot of Blackbeard winning the confrontation and Koby right there in the forefront. Everybody turned to stone. Like there's so many layers to this, and I just love it when Oda pops off on the art like this.
yeah. I do like this specifically this color page, not color page, double spread, because there's a lot of double spreads that I don't like. I feel like sometimes it does get a little bit too busy,
Yes, and
but this one,
oh, and they're absolutely unreadable when you collect the physical manga. Like this shape is great for like web reading, right? Like this kind of format. But if you put like a page down the middle, it
yeah,
yeah, the spine it just ruins it. I love it right when I read it online, but when I collect the physical manga, it just makes me cry.
yeah. I'm still so below in my physical manga. I'm on. Well, I have the two box sets, so I'm at. I have all of it till um, not Water Seven and his lobbies.
Hey, Dark Dragon, what's up? Uh, I actually started collecting One Piece recently. The only box set that was available. I actually only got into One Piece recently. I started getting into One Piece in March of this year. Yeah,
What a
yeah,
youngling!
yeah.
It explains why you probably remember things a lot better than I do.
Oh yeah, because I rewatch it like crazy. I've literally rewatched One Piece, reread One Piece like dozens of times over, just because like okay, this is gonna sound dumb, but I haven't been in the mood to like get into something else as intensely as one ever since I finished One Piece, right? So I've started and finished new series here and there, but they're so much smaller in scope that they don't like elicit the same kind of like out of me, right? It's like
Yeah.
I feel I feel as though if no other series that I read before that I already liked, if they didn't get grandfathered in, after I got done being obsessed with One Piece, that I might not like them if I was starting to get into them right now. So just because like my it shifts your perspective, because like 1,058 chapters is like so much that your brain kind of like it
Yeah.
it broke its limiter, right? Like you're like, oh yeah, my context for how long a story should be is just fucked up because of One Piece. But you're like, oh yeah, most stories just wrap up after a couple hundred chapters and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like especially after we got the big three, like Naruto and Bleach and everything,
Yeah,
people were calling stuff with 300 chapters like short. It is not short.
it's not
Most
short.
manga end before 300
Yeah,
chapters.
like Black Clover and My Hero are almost at 400 chapters, and they're in their final war arcs. You know,
Yeah,
so
and they're big series. They are
yeah,
probably among like top 10 biggest series in Jump.
and not only that, they've also been going on for the better part of a decade. So
Yeah.
like, 300-400 chapters is a long period of time in real life. That's like you can only crank out maximum 45 chapters a year.
50
No, because there's break weeks and then there's
there's
like yeah
breaks. Yeah.
holidays and stuff. So like 45 max. So yeah.
Yeah. For me, One Piece, because I remember, again, I've been reading it for a while. I caught up with when it had 550. At the time, it was huge because at the time, the big three were already the big three, and I think Bleach had 250. Naruto had like 300 something. So all of them were considered big already. But
Hmm.
yeah, for me, One Piece feels huge because I've been reading it now. It's half my life now. It's so
That's
wild.
so weird, man. How does it feel? Like how does it all just kind of blend together? Has it become like a part of your life in a weird way? Like is it
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the only manga I never stopped reading because I did have like some breaks of Bleach and Naruto, and of course everything else that I was reading back it finished with the exception of Detective Conan, but I also stopped reading Detective Conan a while ago
damn, you're a
because
detective
that's
Ronin? Detective Ronin.
Ronin.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, I can't
That's
escape
another
him.
series.
But yeah,
Uh,
you're a Detective Conan enjoyer?
I read it. I read like 300 chapters of it. I did like it a lot. It was one of the first anime and manga that I watched, but it was so even at the time was so huge because I guess I remember it was like 800 chapters. That was that is massive.
Yeah. God. That's
Yeah.
that's a long dude, that's longer than My Hero Academia's been in circulation.
Yeah. Like Dead of Conan is
That no, that's longer.
what?
No, wait, hold on. How many chapters is it of Detective Conan? You just said the number. Oh my god, did you just, dude? Oh my
No,
god.
I said 800 like 10 years ago.
Oh
Dead
my
of
god.
Conan is massive. Dead of Conan is bigger than I like. Do you want to know what's the interesting part? All of the four biggest shonen magazines have a long runner.
I assume
Out of
it's
those four,
like
yeah,
Hajime no
it's
Ippo.
yeah,
Uh, One
Conan, and then Baki, and then One Piece. Out of Hajime no
Baki,
Hippo, Conan,
dude.
Baki, and One Piece, One Piece is the youngest.
That's so weird, dude. Everybody like, you know what's funny? I fucking love Baki, right? But I am,
Oh, me too.
dude. I am anime only. Like it is the most fun way I think to enjoy that series because like the way the Netflix CGI's like their bodies and the violence is just so on brand. Like it just it's so perfect for the story, right? Like the thing with like anything you draw. You remember when he ripped off a guy's face? Like
Yeah,
like that was so hard, man. But yeah,
everything in Baki. But I like the manga. I've only read the first three parts, I think, or two parts.
Wait,
I don't
hold.
even
Sorry, I
remember.
just realized. This isn't longest running series. This is like longest shonen series, right?
Um,
Because where does JoJo's fit in?
yeah. No, I was saying like all of them have a long running series. I was not talking about the longest, just series that have been going since like the 90s or 80s. JoJo, JoJo is from 1986.
Yeah,
JoJo
it
is
is old.
is is
Yeah,
yeah. Um,
Araki isn't. He hasn't. He doesn't have a gray hair. But
I have more gray hairs than him. It's
like,
sad.
what fountain of youth is he drinking from?
Yeah.
Um,
Um, but it's seinen though now.
yeah, that's so weird to think that JoJo's is a saint.
Well, he
Like,
did start as a shonen, so
it gives like Jose vibes. Like,
I don't. I wouldn't say that. I've read some Jose. They don't. They generally don't have battles. Most Jose that I read are more like workspace and marriages.
I know,
That's
but like
90% of Jose.
JoJo's is so
Gay.
flamboyant. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you were a lot meaner than I was. You know.
It's not mean. It
Listen, Crash, I just feel like I learned something new about you right now, and you know.
I'm not gonna say that anymore. Um,
No, it's okay. This is only being live streamed. Okay, don't worry.
yeah. Nobody's gonna watch this.
Okay.
It's your channel.
Oh, oh, oh. Just for that, when I come on to the big three next millennium, I don't know when the stars align,
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work.
dude. I we gotta like, is there a group chat you guys have? Because like we gotta plan this out, logistically, like a military operation.
We made a server. Poxel made a server and said this is for having guests whenever we want to, and then we never touch the server.
That is that
So yeah,
is that is
it,
actually so on brand for you guys.
it does exist. I even suggest I was like, can we make it public for our fans, all zero of them to enter? And I was like, yeah, let's do that, and then we never did. So
Tisk 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 crash. How could you do
just
that? How
that's
could you
how
let the fans down? Anyway, so yeah, what do you think of the new bounties being dropped? I think Blackbeard's is more interesting than Boa's bounty reveal, because he's not at 4 billion yet. So it
yeah.
means Shanks still has the highest bounty. I think Shanks has like is the only Shanks is the only Yonko who has over 4 billion berries on his head.
And it makes sense
Yeah,
because Shanks is also the only Yonko that didn't got to that position in the past
3 days.
year. Because Blackbeard has been,
Yeah, for like two
I don't know,
years. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, Shanks is
Do you
now
think?
the
Yeah, because
oldest. Yeah,
he used to be the youngest at the start of the series.
yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, but yeah, so it does make sense, and I still feel like he's the strongest, anyways.
I don't know. I think Blackbeard
Um,
is the strongest Yonko, for being honest, because Blackbeard has two like monster devil fruits and hockey, and Shanks doesn't have an arm. So, like, he could have the best Conqueror's hockey like ever, but I just feel like maybe at some point, like, eat a devil fruit. Like, you know what I mean? like,
do it.
like,
I don't like. He's super strong though, and he can swim, which is the thing the others can't.
but like he hasn't.
Um,
I don't think it's been revealed like why his crew, because none of them have eaten devil fruits. Why they all feel like they all want to keep their ability to swim? Because like, uh, Blackbeard has two devil fruits, man. Like what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, Buggy has a devil fruit. Like, you know what it is? It's Admirals, Yonko, Luffy, basically most of the strongest characters in One Piece, like more of them have devil fruits than not. So it feels
Yeah.
like what's that thing Rob Lucci said? You'll never get weaker from eating a devil fruit, and it just feels like
I mean, unless you become like the jacket man,
I don't know. I like even then, right? You like you didn't get weaker, right?
just become a jacket.
You but you can control it, and you get like a cool
It's
little
true.
party trick if you ever have like the desire to exercise that ability.
I mean, that is true. Um,
Yeah. Anyway,
I guess the exception would be if you hit the human fruits.
yeah,
You
that
just
that would be redundant. Yeah. Um. Anyway, yeah. So Blackbeard, bounty reveal, second highest. It's good to see him have a higher bounty than Luffy. Almost. Excuse me. Almost like what?
don't. Haven't we had it before? I feel like
His
we
old
did.
bounty was 2 billion.
Yeah, but didn't we get like a bounty reveal when we got the all the Yonko, or
Uh,
was that the old
no,
still?
no, no. It was only the Cross Guild and the Straw Hats.
Hmm. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So Boa being at like 1.659 billion is a very funny number to me because it's smaller than Crocodile's, right? Because his was 1.9 billion. Uh,
But
def
I reckon that was not the original bounty for Crocodile.
no,
Like,
no, no, no. I think his bounty froze at 81 million, but he was already that was when he was first a warlord, like years before the story
yeah.
took place. Hold on, I want to see how much. What's his name? Katakuri's bounty was Katakuri.
Was 1.4? Don't
Oh
remember.
wow, yeah. It's funny. Sanji still hasn't cracked his hasn't beaten Katakuri's bounty. He's like 10 million shy. That's so funny.
I mean,
What is it? Sanji's at what 2636. It's almost exactly 20 million. That's so pathetic. Like not pathetic, but it's like really depressing. But it goes to show that like
for Sanji.
if we take bounty as like power scaling, which I'm not saying you ever should, but just for fun, it technically means warlords like Boa Hancock are still on average stronger than Yonko commanders, which I don't know about, but like I would personally have Katakuri over Boa just because his Devil Fruit is like also awakened and he has that sick observation hockey, and like eh, I disagree with the warlord's decision here. Maybe because she was a warlord, right? That she gets that little extra
Yeah,
buff, but yeah.
that's also the thing that we need to understand, that bounties have a lot to do with
Like how
you
dangerous you
know
are to the government, not specifically a
y-
measure. Yeah, that's why I say like you should use it as like with caution.
yeah. I like to use it as a way to more check the notoriety of the person. Again, Buggy
Yeah, yeah.
has
Buggy's the
a
prime example. Like Buggy is should serve as like the testament to like how like useless bounties are. Um,
yeah,
but also
and Chopper's bounty
small
also.
small detail that I just noticed right now: this picture of Luffy, this massive banner of Luffy on Amazon Lily. Dude,
I did not.
I love that dude. Boa down bad.
Yeah, she loves him. Do you think she's? I don't think she's gonna.
This okay. Why didn't Koby turn to stone? He was looking at her. Like
Maybe I don't. The only thing
it's like strength of
I
will, I guess.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe she didn't even he didn't actually looked at her,
Maybe.
because if we go back to like a couple pages, he was looking at the was dealing with the pacifista. Um,
So it's interesting, right? When the Marines were asking about interfering with Blackbeard being there, they're like, "Oh, we only got approval to go after Boa." It tells me that it's the equivalent of like walking up on a rival nation's president. It feels like engaging Blackbeard is like it carries a different weight to it. So I like that small like little thing.
it it does start a war, I
Yeah.
guess. That's
So
the whole point of the Yonkos.
dude, Rayleigh coming back was wild.
Yeah.
Because on one hand it's like sick, like really like Black Lightning. It seems like it might be Advanced Conquerors, and it was enough to scare Blackbeard. But like, dog, it was so depressing when he said that he
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 would
would have lost
lose.
he
Yeah.
would have lost the
Yeah.
Blackbeard. That actually made me so sad.
Yeah. But he is like super old. But
Yeah, he's
yeah.
in his 70s,
But I
which is
agree.
crazy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like it was cool to see him, and it got the conflict resolved peacefully. Um, didn't think that it would work, to be frank with you. Oh, sorry. I just realized I wanted to talk about this. Shaki was revealed to be the ex-pirate empress, or like queen of this of the Kuja pirates.
Oh yeah. I did not read that at all.
Yeah, that also was like, what? Former Empress of Amazon Lily from 2 generations ago. How? First of all, it's
Oh.
crazy to think two
Oh,
generations.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second of all, uh, wow, like underrated reveal. Like,
I because sometimes the names, who they are. I kind of just skip over those. You're right.
I think this is also her like proper name too.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Rayleigh's saying he'd lose to Blackbeard right now. I wonder if he's taking everything into account, like devil fruits included, because like prime Rayleigh against modern Blackbeard, I would say, yeah, it would just become a hockey battle because you'd need it against like somebody of Rayleigh's power. But I
Yeah.
wonder how much old age, like I wonder if old age affects his ability to use hockey or his physical abilities exclusively, just because like he has an older body. So I wonder, like, because Whitebeard said something similar about his abilities, right? And Garp too. Like they all said, like, hey, getting older has made me weaker. I wonder if that's just like a physical thing.
I mean, it makes sense because Aki is still physical, so it makes sense that
And
it gets weaker still. I mean,
I guess like armament hockey maybe, but like
the
metaphysically,
con-
like conquerors and observation shouldn't be affected by old age.
I mean, I guess I can see an argument for like conquerors because that has a lot more to do with will than anything else.
Wrapping up the chapter here, get to see the reveal that this was modeled after Boa. I love the addition of them giving her the earrings. Um, I I don't know why they felt the need to do that, but here they are. Um,
Cool.
yeah, the thing with the eyes is freaky because those seem to be like I don't think Lunarians have these eyes, so I wonder where they came from. Because the one who looked like Mihawk, seemed to emulate his eyes, like the little like circle thing. But as far as the one for Boa, she has stars in her pupils. Yeah, so I wonder what that's as her pupils. I wonder what that's about. Um, Now, my question, right? Are these cyborgs? Are they clones that are genetically engineered soldiers? Because it seems like if you can clone this, they like let me rephrase. They're definitely clones, right? Like they have to be clones to look like this, or like really
Yeah.
advanced cyborgs, whatever, right? And they're mixed in with Lunarians and probably other stuff. The only thing that's great that I can't figure out is how cyborgified are they beside maybe the ability to control them and give them orders like with Kuma, right? Because if you can build this kind of organism organically, you don't the cyborg enhancements are nice, but you don't need them, you know?
Yeah. Um, that's a good point because I just kind of assumed that they were because the pacifistas that we've seen so far have been,
Yeah.
but
Anyway, it's a conversation I think for, full videos on Manga Crash's channel. Uh
I don't do One Piece. I mean, I occasionally do, but it's I don't want to. Why there's like an audience, a niche that I like to watch,
ah,
like,
I see.
but not one that I like to do work on. I was actually watching, didn't finish, but his
Who?
video on the chapter, Mr. Morge.
Who?
Mr. Morge.
Who?
He's You don't know?
I'm fucking with you, bro.
He's a guy that does like
No,
he just
Crash.
does.
That's the joke. That's the I keep saying. My God, Crash. You saw me on Going Wild on Twitter. Yes, I know
Oh,
him.
I did.
Like,
I did. Oh, I just remembered.
you forget the Cream's Mr. Morge arc.
I did.
You remember? Okay, so you remember when the raid failed? Oh no, wait, you don't, because that never happened. So,
He also had a video on how Blackbeard wouldn't have Aki.
oh my God, dude, you remember this iconic tweet that was like, Oda just hates Morge, like just gets truer
Yeah,
and truer every day. Like,
March. I like him. I like his videos.
he's fine, but damn, dude, he is like, I mean this in the nicest way possible. He would not be able to write One Piece. Like dude would
No.
like he'd write like the Seinen fan fiction version of One Piece because his expectations for it are just so like like it he always seemingly removes the goofiness from One Piece whenever he makes his theories because I feel like in any other series it would be fine, right? His theories would actually be on the money, right? But so like he has the proper like literacy, like media narrative literacy to make a informed theory, but he just like keeps forgetting about tone and it drives me crazy because all his
What series this is?
exactly, literally, because it's like he would be the kind of guy to predict like the moment Luffy would awaken his devil fruit, the hopelessness everybody would feel, etc., etc. But when it comes to the actual fruit, he unironically predicted as like you know the fan drawings of like a Gear Fifth Luffy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like stoic, he's extra buff, yada yada. Like Mr. Morge would unironically like do that, and I don't mean that like in a mean, like I don't mean to say that in like a mean way, but it's like a like I don't think anybody's really fully capable of like understanding the true like depths of goofiness besides Oda, which is why like I take fan theories with like a bit of like a grain of salt because no matter how good they are, I feel like they might just be like you're never gonna out goofy Oda. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, especially with Gear 5.
yeah, and you're especially not gonna be able to implement that goofiness with like competent storytelling, right? Like those two things are both Oda's strengths. So it's like you know, I like fan theories in that like they're entertaining, but I don't like them from like a if it doesn't happen, I get mad kind of way. Because I remember like bro, and part of this is my fault for like the Mr. Morge thing because like I believed it, bro. I was a raid fail believer. He fully
Oh yeah,
converted me into the cult. I felt so betrayed, man. I don't think I'll ever forgive him
that's
for
kind of
that. But
that's
yeah,
kind of like the you can't take those series like for real.
yeah, I know. It's a lesson I know now, but like, you know,
It's always good. Uh, there's like this theory. You probably have seen it.
mm,
I think most YouTubers have done a video on it about what the One Piece is that involves like, drawing the Fishman Island and Marijuana Red Line and everything.
yeah,
And it's such a good theory, but I cannot let myself convince that it is that
yeah.
because it is a good theory because
I some theories they feel like spoilers to the point where like
yeah,
you kind of marry that as the ending, but
yeah.
excuse me, when something else happens, it's like, oh my god, take away his pen. He doesn't know how to write. So
That's kind of like I feel like a problem of following things weekly, especially like every single week we get like to theorize about what's going to happen next chapter, and sometimes like for example with Yamato, we got that justification of why Yamato wanted to stay on Wano, and everyone got mad because we didn't have the full context that we would get like 2 3 weeks later or
yeah.
2 weeks later.
So
Um,
taking it, ranking them chapter by chapter is fine for the most part, right? In the moment, but I think if you're just like, if that score isn't temporary upon you
yeah,
seeing how it all kind of comes together a few chapters down the line, arcs down the line, then I don't know. I feel like it's just Wano brain or recency bias because all this shit is happening right now. So it's hard to see Wano like in the past,
Yeah.
for what it is. And
Honestly, I feel like that's what happened with Dressrosa, because everyone hated Dressrosa when,
I love Dressrosa. Yeah,
but most people love Dressrosa when they
binge it,
binged it.
but I binged it, right? So like I had,
Yeah.
yeah, uh,
So I feel like Wano would it's gonna be very similar.
yeah. I think
That's
it needs the benefit of time.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so lastly, Kobe gets kidnapped by Blackbeard for some reason.
Yeah, that was so confusing to me.
Like my
Why? It's like I can't get Bo, I'm gonna get Kobe.
I've thought about that, but they mentioned that Blackbeard and Kobe know each other. I think it was like an earlier scene or something. Uh, where was it? Where Hero? Oh yeah, so here Blackbeard is speaking to Kobe when he calls him Hero, and he's like, "Oh, you did me a favor." So I think this Rocky Port thing is also. I think I heard it was like where Law got the hearts to become a warlord. So I wonder what the hell that incident was. But anyway, so Blackbeard and Kobe already know each other, and I heard the dumbest thing, but I love it so much I want to believe it. Like it's one of those like fan theory things that I'm like, oh, that's so in character. I want to believe that, but I can't let myself believe it. So Blackbeard is going to collect Kobe's bounty from Cross Guild.
I mean,
It's
it's
something
not
he would do.
impossible.
It's
It
something,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this theory. I think Kobe getting kidnapped in and of itself is already weird. Um,
Yeah.
it's even
Because
weirder.
everyone was expecting for Sabo to be kidnapped, and then
Yeah.
he wasn't. Now, it's Kobe instead.
Yeah. So I'm wondering is this Marineford too? Is this like is Kobe
Yeah,
acing right now? Like is this the you know
I hope not.
yeah you know that
Because
sorry go
I was gonna say, like, we can't get another. The next war we're gonna have needs to be the final war,
yes
and
agreed.
I don't see the final war being about Kobe.
I don't either. I mean like unless Blackbeard literally had the One Piece and Kobe, then maybe the war. But like not Kobe. Like like the Marines don't give a shit. Like they're not gonna do what Whitebeard did.
Yeah,
Luffy might do it, to do it, but I don't
yeah.
know.
Because I was thinking, but
Is
I
that
don't feel like
is that how I want to see Teach get defeated? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
That's Luffy doesn't need Kobe to have a reason to want to
fight Blackbeard.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah. Or Akainu. Like Luffy's motivations for going after either of them are already kind of set. So there's no
yeah.
real like incentive to like have Kobe be the new ace.
The only it doesn't make sense if Blackbeard gives it to Crossguild, because that gives a reason for Luffy to go after Crossguild, because he really doesn't. Um, but also, I kind of just I don't know. Do we need a reason to go to face Crossguild? Zoro has a reason to beat Mihawk, I guess, and then Luffy, like, he can beat up Buggy anytime. He
Yeah.
could just throw him in an arc and he's gonna punch him in
And
the face and
like
stun.
really if you want to beat Cross Guild, beat Mihawk and then the rest of them will like fall.
Yeah.
Or
So I don't.
yeah, I don't know. Tell Mihawk he can retire on a private island you bought him. That'll also work. Like Buggy and Crocodile, Buggy more so, but like they're so easy to get rid of. You know what I mean? Like
Because they've been get rid of.
yeah. So do you think when the world government created these new pacifistas, they also cloned Buggy?
A, a Buggy pacifist that was like super stronger than Buggy
Yeah.
would be hilarious. I can see Oda do that. To be fair, I can see Oda do that.
God. All right, thanks for coming out, man. That's the end of the chapter. Sorry it was so like last minute. I
That's
you know I promise you, views aren't usually this low. I usually roll out the red carpet for people, but like we have weeks, months. The whole team comes together to like make a
yeah.
comprehensive campaign, to get the
Get
word out.
2 million views.
Exactly. We get
Like,
bus ads. We get like on subway lines. Those massive. We usually do that for cream streams. And yeah, I'm so sorry about
It,
this. You know.
it was like it's gonna be Crash gonna be on stream. Just cut it. Nobody's gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'll speak with my audience to like give them some proper discipline. You know, teach them who's how to behave when guests arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming out, man. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to be on your podcast.
We're gonna make it work.
Yeah. When the stars align.